They won't win the league. Man City will win the league. And I think Manchester United will finish second. And I know that will annoy Arsenal fans. Not my words, the words of Gary Neville, who is saying that Arsenal will finish third in this Premier League season. They won't win the league. What are your thoughts about that? I think no way, as Gary Neville said that. He's way more intelligent than that. And the thing is, I listened to it and I don't think he's actually trying to be an United biased troll to wind Arsenal up ahead of a big game, because I don't think that would wind Arsenal up enough. I think that's a genuine belief from Gary. And look, he does go on to say that he'd like Arsenal to win the league if Man United aren't going to win it, which is what I would agree with, and I think a lot of United fans would. But I've got to say, and I've put the league table up there on purpose, I don't get, and look, it's all about opinion, but this is a guy who gets paid a lot of money to watch football, and this is a guy who's won a lot of Premier League titles. I'm surprised, I'm really shocked that he thinks Arsenal are going to finish third. This is not the Arsenal side, and maybe this is where Gary and other people are going wrong. This is not, if you've watched it, I've played the game. If you watch Arsenal, this is not the Arsenal. They're not pretenders. They're not the Arsenal of last year, the year before that. Xhaka's not the same player. You know, Xhaka's not the same player. Odegaard's gone up a level. Martinelli's gone up a level. They've got a brilliant back five. They've got a brilliant midfield, and they've got a brilliant attack. They don't have weaknesses. And I think some people are just stereotypically going, Arsenal, you know, when they play a decent team like Man City twice, they'll crumble. And I'm like, I've seen Man City. I think Arsenal will give them a game. I think Arsenal, if that game hadn't been postponed back in the autumn, I think Arsenal would have beat them. I think at that time, Arsenal were comfortably better than Man City. So I think Gary's wrong. I think he's really wrong. I think there is this perception that Arsenal are pretenders and they're going to do what they've done over the last year, and it completely dismisses and ignores the fact that Arsenal are a fantastic football side. And look, they're massive favourites against us at the weekend. But how can a team... Look, we're basically halfway through the league. How can you still be saying Arsenal are going to flop? Arsenal are going to collapse. They're going to do what Arsenal do. Look at the home and away Premier League table. That's the Premier League table. Arsenal, 8 points clear. 8 points clear. And also 9 points clear of third place, with an opportunity to go 12 points clear if results go their way this week. Their away record, right? Arsenal's away record. Where is Arsenal's collapse coming from? There's one place, and it would be ridiculously unlucky, and I'll talk about that in a minute. But in relation to, where is this Arsenal are going to finish third coming from? I don't think they'll finish even second. They won't win the league, which is I'm astounded by Gary on this one, because stats don't lie in relation to halfway through the season. Arsenal's away record, they've basically played, 10 games away from home. They've played more away games than anybody else in the top six. They've played 10 games away. Man United have played 9, Man City have played 9, I think Liverpool have played 9, Spurs have played 9. So they've played 10 away games. They've won 8, they've drawn 1, and they've lost 1. Their away record is fantastic. They've got 25 points from away games. Second place Man City have got 17. They've got 8 points more than Man City away from home. They're the best away team in the league. They've scored 20 goals and they've conceded 6. 6 away goals in 10 away games. That is championship form, title form, brilliant. Home record, they've only played 8 games at home. Everyone else has played more home games than Arsenal in the entire league. Man City have played 9, Newcastle have played 10, Man United have played 9, Liverpool have played 9. So Arsenal are in this weird situation where they've played more away games than anybody else and less home games than everybody else, and yet they've still got the best home record. 22 points from 8 home games, 7 wins, 1 draw. Man City, 22 points from 9 games, Newcastle, 22 points from 10 games, Manchester United, 22 points from 9 games. So Arsenal comfortably have an immaculate home and away record. They're playing fantastically well. From front to back, a really good side. Their front four, very, 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 very good. Odegaard, arguably one of the best players of the year. Their midfield two of Xhaka and Partey, fantastic. Their back four, what a job they're doing. And Ramsdale is just, doing the job. World-class goalkeeping. So where is this crumble coming from? Where is this, I don't think they'll finish third? And look, you know what? We might look back on this and Gary Neville might be right. But it's it's a prediction that's not based on any real evidence. It's a prediction based on a hunch. I just think Arsenal are going to collapse. I just think Arsenal are going to finish third. When nothing points towards that. The only thing that will make Arsenal finish third is if... Sorry, I had a package delivered there. It was actually Gary Neville coming to apologise. But on a serious note, the only way Arsenal's season is going to collapse is the same way it could collapse for everyone. Because the mid-season World Cup, 3 games a week, Arsenal don't really have the squad. And that's where Man City pounce. That's where Man City pounce. Man City could pounce on Arsenal because they've got a really good squad. And they're the only team that can win the league that's got a really good squad. Because Chelsea are too far off. I think Chelsea have got a good squad, but they've got injuries. Liverpool are too far off. So it's Man United, Newcastle, Arsenal, Man City. And the only team that's got a really good squad depth is Man City. So if Arsenal don't win this league, it will be because injuries. And I sense when Gary Neville or anyone else is talking, they're just expecting an Arsenal collapse for some other reason. That's not going to happen. They're not going to suddenly start playing like they did 3 years ago. They're well coached. They've got good chemistry. They are a fantastic side. And the only thing that will derail Arsenal is injuries. And I'm talking about a lot of injuries. And that's why it's important that they add to their squad in January. Of course it is. Because if you lose Odegaard and you lose a Partey, I think then you're going to struggle. You know, if you lose a Saka and you lose a Saliba, I think you're going to struggle. But the form they are in, the results they have had, they are not pretenders. They are the real deal. They are 100%. I've played the game. I've watched the game for years. I've seen teams that win titles. This comparison with Leicester is completely offensive. I would be really offended if I was Arsenal. They're like Leicester. They're doing a Leicester. They're not doing a Leicester. Leicester never should have won that league, and it was unbelievable. There was a culmination of crap teams. Everybody was going through transition. And Leicester hit this amazing consistency and system that won them the league. Arsenal are a decent side. They can beat decent sides. They are consistently a decent side from the start of this league to now. They are a very good side. They are more than... I think we're past that point where you go, Arsenal can't win the league. That team can't win the league. You look at them now and go, that is title-winning form. They are the best team in England. That is a title-winning team. I think it's disrespectful to compare them to Leicester. I think it's ridiculous to say they're going to finish third. Because the thing that bothers me about it, and Gary Neville's not the only one, people who say this, it's like they're saying it from a point of view that this fantastic Arsenal side is suddenly going to be crap. As I said, if somebody says, I think Arsenal won't win the league because I think they're going to get a few injuries and they'll crumble, I can see that, but that's fantasy as well because you can't predict injuries. I think as we are, you've got to live in the now, you've got to live in the reality. There is absolutely no way Arsenal aren't the favourites for the title. There is absolutely no way Arsenal aren't a decent team. And there is absolutely no way they're going to finish below second place. Because, let's take the title out for a minute, Arsenal are going to finish third. Man United aren't going to finish above Arsenal. I hope we do. But looking at things now, our squad is as vulnerable as theirs. And they've got the points on the board. So it's like people saying Liverpool are out of the top 4 because they're not going to get top 4 because they're 10 points off. But Man United are basically 10 points off Arsenal. So it's the same thing. Man United can finish above Arsenal. I hope they do. But I don't see Man United or Newcastle anywhere near the level that Arsenal are this season. So what you're hoping for that to happen is Arsenal get a load of injuries, but you don't. You don't get any injuries. You keep picking your best team, but Arsenal get 3 or 4. And that could put Man United above Arsenal, but how likely is that? That Arsenal are going to get 3 or 4 major injuries and United aren't going to get any. I think it's absolutely nailed on that Arsenal will finish top 2. And I think as of now, the only thing that will stop them winning the title is if for some reason they can't keep putting their strong team out. Which, you know, could happen to anybody. But yeah, Arsenal aren't pretenders. No way. What are your thoughts? Get your comments in below. Make sure you smash a like on the video and please do subscribe. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic Premier League season, but I just think that, you know, and I predicted Man City would win the league at the start of the season, and I'm going to stick with that because I like to stick with what I said at the start of the season. I don't like mid-season my new Premier League predictions, because that's like using a get out of jail card, isn't it? Stick to what you said at the start. So my prediction was that City would win the league. I still think they can, but I'd be ignorant if I didn't acknowledge that Arsenal are more than just a fluke. They are not pretenders. What their form is unreal. Their team is unreal. I said it after the game against Spurs. They are incredible this season, and Arteta deserves huge praise. Thanks for watching. I'll speak to you on the next one.